I'm just gonna tell the story of Buster Duggo. Um, Buster was a frog. He was a frog. He was green. He didn't like the other frogs around town. He mainly sat in his little frog pond. Um, he had a nice area for himself. He had no little froggo problems. He had great grades. He had a good routine. He was a well respected member of society, despite his disliking of the others. He was, in many ways, just another regular frog. What set him apart was his preference for danger. He would always, if he saw something dangerous, he would go towards it like a madman. One day there were people in the pond fishing, and Buster got on the hook. He got on the fishing hook and pulled at it, such that the fisherman had to reel it in. And he would always do shit like that, where it's like, you don't need to be doing that, but he would do it anyway. He would just fuck with the people. He would get into dangerous situations. People, all the other frogs would be like, Buster, you're gonna get yourself killed one day. And Buster, he would say, oh, I don't mind. I'm not afraid of nothing, he would say. Um, but, and he was, knows that. Um, it, uh, One day Buster he saw a lady frog that he liked. He saw Samantha the frog. It was, as it were. Samantha was a rebellious little frog. She had lots of friends, but she didn't quite know who she was. So she had all sorts of troubles. She did frog drugs. She did frog crimes. She did petty theft. She would, unnecessary petty theft. She had plenty of money at home. She would still steal. So, but Buster took a liking to her after she 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 blew him a kiss in the as she was driving past, and Buster didn't. No, Buster took it to heart, I guess. The little blow kiss. He imagined an entire future with her, including marriage. And then, so shortly after that, Buster found himself pursuing old Samantha, and it was troubled in Frogland. The biggest thing that can go wrong in Frogland is to have trouble with ladies, because as a frog, you know, as a frog, it's one of your main responsibilities is to pin one down and continue the family line. You wanna get the Froggo kids, so that way your Froggo genes continue to live on. So Buster was all into Samantha. Samantha didn't know who Buster was. She didn't know Buster from a goddamn flower. So Buster had his work cut out for him, but he introduced himself in typical Froggo ways, finna be like Ribbit, and stuff like that. Um, And, Samantha wasn't having it. She wasn't so easily impressed. She went more for the Froggos that were just kind of like, the Froggos that would just go up and, smack her right on the toes. So she wasn't having it, and then Buster pulled out one of the greatest ribbits of all time, and it changed things. And after that, Samantha was all on board. Buster was like, ribbit, ribbit. And it was like, wow, that's the best ribbiting I've ever heard in my life, Samantha thought. And it just so happens that that's all you need in Frogland to get yourself a good relationship out of a female frog. You just need to rib it the right way. And now, some frogs can't rib it the right way, and they're just dumb out of luck, as it were. But what else is there to say about old Buster? So he did end up getting married to Samantha the Frog, and about 3 years after that, after the marriage, he founded a real estate company that specialized in frog ponds, and he made a living out of that. And BusterRealEstate.com. That's he did that. And it was a successful way. It was the first time that people could just buy the real estate straight from their computer. It had never been done in Frogland, so it was kind of like Zillow. And he got rich, And then he did the drugs. He did heroin and cocaine, but like frog variants, so like weird grass stuff. And people were worried about Buster, but Buster continued to kick it, and he ended up living all the way till he was 100 years old. And he had plenty of little tadpoles, plenty of kids. The line continued. Samantha ended up, during the drug periods, Samantha got very stressed out. She couldn't take it, and she ended up offing herself during the cycle. But Buster was fine by that time with whatever. He was more interested in the drugs. He didn't mind what happened to anyone else or anything else. He was A-okay with whatever, as long as he had his drugs, he was fine. Everything else, as far as he concerned, was handled. It was done. He was retired, you could say. He was like retired on the common life. He had already succeeded in what he wanted to succeed in, and the rest was just bonus, basically. So, yeah, and Buster's favorite color was yellow. Not that you'd have an interest, but, as far as frogs go, a lot of them liked green because that's the color they were. But Buster liked yellow because yellow was more distinct. He liked to think of himself as a distinct guy, being Buster the Frog and all. But, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Buster, I guess. Buster the Frog, remember it. Write it down. Look it in the mirror every day and think, Buster the Frog. Why would you do that? I don't know, but it's important. So, good luck, and I hope you think of Buster every day. Buster the Frog.